game between the Chazy Eagles and the Moriah Vikings. Our starting lineup for the winning team of Moriah are number 22, China Allen, number 21, Megan Baggy, number 24, Chelsea McKernan, number 16, Ashley O'Connor, number 20, Kristen Petro, number 12, Samantha Slattery, number 7, Jen Sessions, number 13, Naomi Wagstaff Blaze, the goalie, Elizabeth Wallace, number 6, Sapphire Winter, number 27, Catherine Zornsky. The starting lineup for our home team of Chazy are the goalkeeper, Casey Olds, number 12, Morgan Lucy, number 5, Victoria Reynolds, number 23, Oski Kempinen, number 4, Shawnee Columbia, number 14, Madeline Gay, number 22, Devin Latrimore, number 25, Megan Ryan, number 19, Bridget Bell, number 11, Sam Levine, and number 10, Brittany Goodwin. Our coaches for today are Mr. Dumlin and Mrs. Rosella. Please stand for the play of our national anthem.
Hello, soccer fans. I'm Joey Trombley, along with Calvin Castine on the camera. It is October 25th. Actually, a beautiful fall night here at the George Brenler Field in Chazy. Calvin and I were talking a little bit before the game. It seems cooler than the 52 degrees that it showed on our way here, but it's a very nice night with very little wind, if any. The game is between the Chazy Eagles and the Moriah Vikings. Moriah plays in the CVAC. They come into this game with a 1-11 record. Doesn't look good at all coming to playoff time. Chazy comes in with a 19-1 record, fresh off the MVAC championship against Bolton last week, 7-1. But Calvin, 1-11 is very deceiving when a D school plays in a bigger conference in the CVAC.
Anything's possible when two clubs meet. There was a big upset last night. Saranac Lake, who was number 7 seed, defeated the number 2 seed. No, it was Saranac. I forget. But anyway,
there was an upset. I don't remember the team.
Number 7 defeated number 2. Whoever team.
Right.
And all those teams were tight. All the games were 1-0 or just amazingly close games. But if Moriah were playing one of the lower ranked teams here, they might have a good shot in this game. And they might, something might happen. They might jump off to an early lead. I'm predicting they will. As
we just watched Austri Kempinen putting the ball in on a nice feed from Madeline Gay or Bridget Dahl. We'll hit the score in here in a second.
23 goal, 14 assists.
From Madeline Gay over to Austri Kempinen, and it's a very quick 1-0 Chazy lead. It took only 1 minute and 9 seconds. What I was alluding to, Calvin, is them playing tougher competition, that they may be a game for the Eagles tonight, but then the Eagles score in a minute 9.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they were playing one of the teams a little further down in the rankings, maybe 3 or 4 seeded, they'd have to give them a shot, but it'd be a big upset if they pulled this one out.
Well, on paper, 19-1, Chazy coming off scoring 16 goals in 3 games, in 3 big games, and I guess what I've seen, at least from the paper, Willsboro has scored 4 goals this year. Chazy does that in a game, so it would be a major upset if Moriah wins today.
Moriah had scored 4 goals?
Moriah, 4 goals all year.
Yeah, you're looking at the red and white out there, and you said Willsboro. So,
did I say Willsboro?
Yeah, it's understandable when you look at those red and white uniforms.
It is the Vikings of Moriah. And the loser of tonight's game goes home for the season, so whoever loses, the seniors, their varsity careers will come to an end tonight on the soccer field. Right now, Chazy came out quick. It was vintage Chazy scoring with that very awesome offensive attack that they have. We talked about this before, Calvin. There's 6 or 7 girls out there that can find the back of the net for the Eagles.
Yeah, and they brought one up from the JVs who can also help out in that respect too. So they're probably even more balanced than they were a couple of weeks ago.
Well, they were. I mean, if teams were trying to figure out the 6 shooters that they had on that team, all of a sudden they bring up Caitlin Lapierre, from an 8th grader who only 2 weeks ago was running the fields. That's a JV player, but came up and in 4 games has been an impact player, scoring 5 goals. That's just another headache for a team out there. And right now the ball is being controlled by Chazy. Samantha Levine pushing it up the wing over to, it looks like Kempinen. Kempinen trying to get it up to Reynolds. Reynolds hustling to the ball, but it's cleared to the Moriah player trying to work into the Chazy territory. Megan Ryan giving chase. But it's Shawnee Trombley getting to the ball first. She sends it up over to Morgan Rusi. Rusi traps, looking around. She has room, but being challenged by number 21. Badger knocked away, and it's now the Vikings sending up to the right side. Number 7, Tizar, sends it up to number 20, Petro. Petro working away. Nice move to get by Bridget Dahl. Lofts it up high, and it goes right into the hands of Casey Olds, and she'll work her way to the 18 to punt the ball. And she kicks it to the left-hand side, and it should be controlled by Rusi. Rusi has Shawnee Trombley, but she pushes it over to Madeline Gay. Madeline Gay works her way to midfield, sends it up into the open field, chased by Shawnee Trombley. And she knocks it up over toward Reynolds, but cleared out by the defense of Moriah to midfield. Megan Ryan sends it back up over to Reynolds, and a nice defensive play by number 12, Slattery. And the ball is knocked loose over to Kempinen. Kempinen has the ball working toward the center of the field, and she has Reynolds to her right, Rusi to her left, and she'll take a low, hard shot wide of the net, and it'll be a goal kick for Moriah. And goal kick for Moriah. Chazy comes in as the number 1 seed. Moriah comes in as the number 8 seed. And the winner of this game does move on. And like Calvin and I were saying just a few minutes ago, it would be a major upset tonight if we saw Moriah win this game. And Chazy, in 2 years, record is like 40-2.
It's a pretty darn good record, Joe. If you talk about upsets, and we almost saw one last time you and I were together, Johnsburg here at Chazy, boys.
Well, upset in the sense that the score was only 1-0, but statistically, Chazy totally outplayed them that game, outshot them like 30-2 or something like that. But even that was deceiving, as well as Johnsburg played, because they were hustling on every play, and they were skilled.
They certainly will. They certainly were. And, sometimes a team outshoots somebody by a tremendous margin and still ends up losing. So that could have happened to Chazy the other night.
And you've seen that many times through the years taping these type of games. I've seen Northeastern girls a few years back totally dominate. I think down in Potsdam, totally outplay somebody in the regionals. And the winner of that game was going to the Final Four, and Chazy lost it on penalty, or Northeastern lost it on penalty kick.
Yep. So the best team on the field doesn't always win.
Well, it is definitely an equalizer in soccer for some reason. You get into a hot goalie, I guess it happens in hockey.
Hey, it happens in all sports. The Yankees lost to the Indians, and that Red Sox club beat the Indians. I mean, anything can happen.
Well, last night, if you're a Red Sox fan, you had to be happy. A 13-1 trouncing. You'd wonder last night, Calvin, if Colorado deserved to be there, but it's only one game.
Yeah, it's only one game, and of course, everybody listening to this will know the results.
Oh, yeah.
You and I don't know right now, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least if the Red Sox were to sweep it, except that they're going to go to Colorado, and they're going to find out what they're going to do with Mr. Ortiz, because he's not going to DH in Colorado.
No, but they'll put him in first base, and I don't think he's going to hurt him there.
Oh, sometimes I've seen Giambi hurt the Yankees so many times at first base that first base isn't a spot you can just hide somebody.
Yeah, but thin air, you got to keep Ortiz in the lineup.
I know. You got to keep his bat out there, but he can end up giving away a couple runs too.
Well, here's the ever dangerous Victoria Reynolds. and she sends a shot up, and a nice save by the goalie. And the goalie for Moriah is Elizabeth Wallace. And Reynolds sent the ball right to her, and the ball is cleared up, and it's now controlled by Kempinen. Pushes it up nicely over to Madeline Gay, but Madeline Gay being challenged by the defense of Moriah. And number 27, it looked like Zielinski putting pressure on Gay, but she pushed it back to Kempinen, back to Madeline Gay. Sends it over to Rusi, who sends it over to Victoria Reynolds. And nice pass work from the Eagles there, Calvin. From Kempinen to Madeline Gay, over to Rusi. Rusi unselfishly pushes it over to the closer player, which was Victoria Reynolds, who finds the back of the net, and it's 2-0 Chazy.
Reynolds is the leading scorer in girls soccer in the region, and you can see why. She has the knack of being in the right place at the right time. I give him 2 assists.
2 assists from Gay, and 22 would be, or actually it's 12. He said 22. It's actually 12, Morgan Rusi.
Yes, don't get the names wrong. We caught heck retroactive to a year ago, I guess. You caught heck the other night when we were leaving Au Sable.
Oh, jeez, yes, I did. Well, it happened with Bridget Dahl and Madeline Gay. If you look out there, they're 2 tall girls, blonde with buns. And I couldn't see the number, and
With what?
well, their hair is put up buns,
Ponytails.
Ponytails, buns, whatever you want to call them. And they look the same from a distance. And right now we have Shawnee Trombley working her way, but good hustle by number 24, McKernan from Moriah, pushed out to Rusi. She sends it to the box, and the ball is now kicked in by Kempinen. And Chazy is making this look way too easy, Calvin. It's 3-0. There's only been 7 minutes and 29 seconds gone by.
Joey, you played softball for a good number of years, and you've been at both ends of the mercy rule, where if a team gets sometimes 10, 12, 15 runs ahead, the game is called after 5 innings. Sometimes you'd like to see that happen in soccer.
And you're right, Calvin, I've been on both ends of that.
It's a little more fun to end it early when you're on the side that has the more runs.
Yeah, well, when you're a competitor and you got to get taken out by the mercy rule, that's not fun at all. But right now, I mean, they scored 3 goals here in 7 minutes and 29 seconds. A pretty strong offensive attack by the Eagles, but we kind of expected that coming into this game. There's just too many weapons, and when you watch the girls play, they do a very good job keeping the ball on the ground, passing the ball. It's not uncommon to see 4, 5, 6 passes in the row. It's just not boot ball with these girls.
No, they play as if they're well coached.
Well, I would say it starts at the top, and they are well coached by Coach Dumoulin. And, if you look at Dumoulin's resume here in Chazy, I mean, how many Final Fours or deep into the regionals has this team gone?
Yeah, Joe has done a great job, and as a former classmate of mine, I'm proud of what he's achieved here on the soccer field.
Well, everything starts, you can say the girls are, it's the talent on the field, but through the years, players have come and gone, and I'm a firm believer that it starts at the top. The leadership starts at the top, and it drifts down to the players. And Chazy does very, very well. Right now it's Kempinen with the ball. And, I look at the Chazy players, and when they kick the ball or pass the ball, whether they head it or on the foot, and I've said this with the boys, they do it with a purpose.
Yep, they're not just booting it, they're passing it.
And right now you have Morgan Rusi looking to get by one player. And nice defensive play by the Moriah Viking defense. And that was number 21, Megan Badger. Nice play. Megan Ryan looking to get rid of the ball. Number 20 giving chase. It was Petro. And the ball goes off of Ryan, controlled by Moriah. And it's now 2-3 passes over to Madeline Gay. She switches fields up over to Kempinen. Kempinen trying to get it over to number 22. It was 22. Actually, it was Devin Latchmore who got the assist, so it must have been. I said there was 12.
You want to take away Latchmore's assist there.
Yeah, I was trying to give it to Morgan Rusi, so I owe an apology to Devin Latchmore. And I still think I saw 12, but they said 22, so I got to go with the official scorer. So the official scorer says Latchmore got the assist. And Latchmore is out there right now, but I thought it was number 12.
Yeah, doesn't her brother wear 22 also?
You're right. That's right. Perry Latchmore for the boys team. And, you look at both programs. The boys are 18 or 19-1, and they play tomorrow night actually against Scroon Lake, who won the play-in game against Keene 1-0.
Now, they'll be here in red and white uniforms. Don't go calling them Willsboro.
A very good point. What I was going to say about the numbers, Calvin, as I've gotten older, I guess I should probably have some glasses because sometimes I make those mistakes.
Well, this is a big field, and sometimes when you're looking across a couple 100 feet away, it's kind of hard to see those numbers, especially on the front of the shirt.
And you wear glasses, so you even have those troubles too, right?
That's right.
I don't feel as bad now. Right now, Moriah has the ball, and they're getting up. Ryan giving chase for Chazy, looking to control the ball. She goes to the wing, and it's pushed a little too far. It will be a throw-in for Willsboro. There I go again, for Moriah Vikings. And it's number 21, Badger, taking the throw-in for Moriah. And, of course, you see those red and white uniforms all these years. When they do play Willsboro in the league, it's very easy to get caught up in that. But nice play by Madeline Gay. She's looking to turn on the afterburners here. She's working in midfield, and she hits the open field. Reynolds tried to get back onside, and they said offsides, and probably a good call.
Probably so. Pete Jakes has been around. He's from Willsboro, by the way. So
he feels at home seeing these uniforms.
That's right.
So he made a Willsboro call, is what you're saying.
Yeah. He's trying to make the call for the red and white team.
Of course, Mr. Jakes, we're just joking up here if you do see this game. Right now it is Victoria Reynolds. Reynolds gets by one player, but being challenged. Reynolds looking to try to get by somebody here. Trying to pick up the number from a distance, can't do it, but it's a good defensive play by the Moriah defender into the box. And Rusi lets a shot go, and it goes will it go out? It does. Goal kick. Good hustle by Shawnee Trombley, but the ball does go out. And Calvin, those two planes have been circling together for like the last half hour. I don't know if you can get that on the film, but two planes. I think see them flash, but they've been circling around like that for about a half hour right now.
Are they both planes?
Well, it's playoff soccer, so we probably have security here tonight just to.
I'm sure it's like these chases on the television as you see. Are you sure they're both planes? Because I saw a plane and a helicopter go by at Northeastern.
They're both planes, yeah. And we're back to the action here. It's Kempinen. Kempinen working away on the right-hand side. There's a foot race won by the Moriah player. Pushed away by Kempinen. She pushes it back over to, looks like Latchmore. Try to get it over to Gay. Gay pushes it out over to Shawnee Trombley, but it's cleared to Chazy territory. Ryan giving chase, as well as number 20, Petro. Petro working away to the box. She'll take a long shot, and it goes wide right. And substitutions coming in here, 12 and 24 for Moriah. McKernan coming in, number 24. And number 12 would be Samantha Slattery. And number 24 for Chazy, we talked about her a little bit earlier, Caitlin Lapierre into the game now for the Eagles. We're at 26 minutes, 53 seconds here in the first half. Chazy with a 3-0 lead had outshot Moriah 7-3, and Moriah's gotten 3 shots on net, so they've had some offensive opportunities. And it is Goodrow shields the ball out, and it'll be a goal kick for Chazy, as Goodrow will set up for the goal kick. And she'll take the kick for the Lady Eagles here. And we can hear the geese in the background, and it's a late fall day here in Chazy, but a beautiful day. Corn is still up here, so it still looks like the Field of Dreams. And the fans have started to come in here, as it was a little scant when the game started, but the fans are working their way in here. And right now it's the Eagles down deep into the Moriah territory. And it's Kempinen trying to find somebody. She pushes it out over to Madeline Gay, back over to Kempinen. Kempinen controlling back to Gay. Chazy doing a nice job with their triangle passes, and it's Madeline Gay letting a shot rip and hits the post. And Victoria Reynolds went to load up and kicked it wide, but a bullet from Madeline Gay to hit the far post came out, and Reynolds kicked it wide of the net. And you don't see Victoria Reynolds miss those opportunities too often.
Well, I think she had a Moriah leg on top of her leg right there, and I was watching her to make sure she wasn't injured. She was slow to move after that collision.
Yeah, so that might have happened there. And the ball's cleared up. Ryan steps up, pushes it out, trying to find Shawnee Trombley, and just kicked it out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in for the Moriah Vikings. Number 21, Megan Badger, with the throw-in. Badger sends it into number 12. 12 heads it, and that was Slattery. Then it's cleared back out. Throw in for Badger. She goes down the line trying to find number 20, Petro. And Ryan knocks it out of bounds off of Petro. And it's Ryan with the throw in. She sends it in up to Caitlin Lapierre. Lapierre sends it back to Gay. Gay sends it to midfield. And nice hustle from Caitlin Lapierre. She's got some room. She's a fast player. Some nice footwork. Trying to work her way. And she pushes it off to the wing. Nice pass over to Kempinen. Kempinen will try to send it back into the box. She sends it wide, and it's a goal kick for Moriah. We are now 24 minutes and 20 seconds here in the first half.
It looked like Reynolds was looking for a give and go there, where Lapierre would pass to her, then keep going, and then Reynolds would give it right back to her. But Reynolds, being an 8th grader, wasn't quite looking for that.
Lapierre, you mean? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, she. I thought she should have got rid of it a little bit sooner, but she's just an 8th grader, and she'll learn that as she gets more experience here at the varsity level. But it is right now being controlled by Kempinen with the throw-in. Sends it in, it looks like, over to Rusi. Or that might have been Devin Latchmore. And they say corner kick. Shawnee Trombley will switch fields, go off to the far side to take the corner kick for Chazy. Chazy with a 3-0 lead here in the first half. The loser of this playoff game goes home for the season, and the next team goes on to the next level. And nice shot. Oh, what a save. What a shot by Bridget Dahl. And a great save by the goalie, Elizabeth Wallace. She jumped up high, and that was a really nice save, Calvin.
That was a Hail Mary save. She just stuck her arm out there, hoping for the best, and she swatted it away. I think the way she swatted it looks like she's a right-hander, and she swatted that with her left hand.
Well, it worked. And she keeps Bridget Dahl off the scoreboard. Ryan has the ball slide tackle away from her by Petro. Petro was trying to work her way, and Megan Ryan comes back big, and it's Dahl nailing the ball, and it's a throw in for the Vikings. And number 21 for the Vikings, Megan Badger taking the throw in for Moriah. She sends it into number 24, McKernan, but it's taken away, and it's Madeline Gay. Gay sends it into the open field, but it goes to a Moriah defender, pushes it up, nice pass, and it is Ryan. Ryan sends it up over to Shawnee Trombley, switches fields over to Kempinen, pushes it back to Reynolds. Reynolds looking to split the field, sends it up, and here comes Lapierre. She's working her way to the net, and it's Lapierre has a shot. And nice shot, nice save. And the rebound comes off the goalie. Kempinen's there. And another reason, Calvin, why you always rush the goalie and never give up. Nice save, but she got the rebound.
She got the rebound, and again, a rookie mistake. Lapierre, after she saw the goalie stopped the ball, turned, and left the area.
Right. And if she could have kept going,
it wouldn't have turned out that she would have done anything. It was going to be scored the way it was. But, next time it might come back in her direction.
That's right. So you should always rush the goalie. And in this case, Kempinen does that very well for the Eagles in the game against Bolton in the MVAC championship game. She got a couple goals that way by just pure hustle, not giving up.
That's right. You got to follow it. In soccer or in basketball, I remember a fellow named Matt Galarno who played that for Peru, played his high school days at Peru, but I remember him playing some town team ball, and this guy could shoot the lights out, but he'd follow every shot, and if he missed it, he's the one who got the rebound.
Well, that's give him a lot of credit, because a lot of shooters in basketball today don't do that. And it's throw in for Moriah, and the ball's headed by number 12, Slattery. And ball sent to the net here. Here's an opportunity for the Vikings. And it goes off the Moriah player into the hands of Casey Oles. She'll roll it out real quick over to Kempinen. Kempinen's got room. She's got Morgan Rusi way up. She's got Latchmore to the right. And Latchmore cannot control it. I think it's Latchmore out there on the far side. And it looks like Madeline Gay trying to work her way through the defense. And she's working her way hard. And here comes Lapierre. Lapierre with the ball. And Lapierre whiffs on it on a good play that started back from Madeline Gay. And Moriah dodges another potential scoring opportunity from the Eagles. And we have a goal kick coming up for the Vikings.
And again, you saw Lapierre missing that, turn around, put her head down. She's got to get out of that habit.
She's only an 8th grader.
Yeah, I know.
She's only an 8th
You
grader.
know, she's done so much, and I guess you expect her to play like a senior.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the way she's come out here. But right now we have some Shawnee Trombley with the ball. It's knocked away, and it is number 6 giving it everything she's got. It's Wintle for Moriah, but there we don't set her name much tonight, but Brittany Goodrill, she's just so solid back there for the Eagles.
It's just taken for granted that she's going to be back there stopping the ball. Casey Olds is a kid who likes to be active. She must hate Brittany Goodrill because Brittany doesn't allow too many shots to be taken.
No, not at all. She's like how you were last year with Jordan Spiegel for the guys back there, and even Kyle LaFountain this year for the boys.
Yep.
You just have this. You feel comfortable with them back there.
Yeah, you know that you've got that last line of defense there, and if it gets by them, then you've got a goalie there to stop it. But very few get by them.
Yeah, and I tip my hats off to the Bolton Eagles, the NBAC game. Chazy only given up 5 goals all year, and they scored 1, so that says a lot for them, especially for that number 15 Totsky, who played real hard that game, and she deserved to get that goal.
Yeah, well, a lot of kids deserve to get goals, but don't, so it's nice, I guess, when it happens. But if you're a team looking for another shutout, you hate to give up that goal, but what the heck.
Well, you do, but it was a good shot. I mean, you can't take it away from her.
Right.
And it's a short kick controlled by Trombley. Trombley has the ball. She'll work her way in. She chips it up, and giving chase is Kempeden, but too far, and it will be a goal kick for the Eagles, and it is Victoria Reynolds checking in for the Eagles, and Jen Tezar, T-E-S-A-R? Tezar, checking in for Moriah, but that is a familiar name in the circles of Moriah from years back.
Oh, there are a lot of Tezars there, a coach or two over the years.
And we see almost like a miss, or are those coming from Mickey's Fries? There's a miss coming over here the field. And it is Reynolds, who just checked into the game, sends it up to Lapierre. And nice hard shot, and it deflects off the goalie to the far side. And a nice feed from Victoria Reynolds over to Caitlin Lapierre. And nice save by the goalie.
Yes, it was. And getting back to our analogies here of taking the shot and then not following it up, or nothing worse than looking at a baseball player who hits a pop-up and doesn't hustle, and ends up they could have got on base, and they didn't because they just stood there and watched it. But what's even worse than that is when some guy named Manny hits a ball off the top of the wall and gets a single out of it because he's standing there looking at the ball fly and admiring his home run that he didn't get.
Yeah. Well, nothing frustrates me more when you're talking baseball. Since we're on the subject of baseball, nothing's more frustrating to me, and I never understood this. These players will hit the ball and they'll jog to first base. Now, you're playing a game, you might get up 4 times in a game, okay, if you're having a good offensive night. You tell me you can't sprint 90 feet 4 times?
You would think, 4, maybe 5 times.
Yeah, maybe 5. Okay, you're talking 5 sprints in a 4-hour span.
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
Yeah.
They say it's a long season. Come on. Basketball players pound on each other. Hockey players pound on each other every night, every other night when they're playing a professional sport, and baseball players got to jog.
Yeah, there's no excuse for not hustling at any level, whether it's peewee, grasshopper, or professionals or whatever. You hustle.
Well, you can say what you want about the gambling of Pete Rose, but before all that, when he played, that guy hustled on every play.
He hustled, but the one thing I didn't like about Rose is sometimes his hustle was on the dirty side. He would play tackle.
Well, you say dirty, some call it aggressive. That's open for debate.
Well, you can debate all you want, but when you injure people and ruin their careers, when it was avoidable, I think it's dirty.
You can't stand the heat, get out. I'm just kidding. Here comes Lapierre. Lapierre on a nice feed. This should be a goal for Lapierre. Oh, she sends that one wide. Well, I'll tell you what, she's getting a lot of opportunities tonight.
Well, she's a hustler, and she's in the right place at the right time, and she's being consoled right now.
But it was a beautiful feed from Madeline Gay, a long pass. And, but nice captain Madeline Gay saying, hey, don't worry about it.
That's right.
We're up 4-0 here with 16 minutes to go in the first half. You just keep doing what you got to do.
Yeah, you want to make sure you make those when it's a 1-1 score.
Yeah, exactly. But it is playoff time, and I'm sure Chazy, well, of course, we talked about this before, but this could be another opportunity. Their goal isn't tonight. Their goal is they want to get back to, if it's in Cortland this year, they want to get back to the Final Four.
Oh, definitely. But to get there, you got to do that cliche and take them one at a time. You can't look at the next game until you've completed this one.
Absolutely not.
Did you check? I should have paid attention to it. Who awaits the winner here? Which other playoff?
Boy, I looked at it about 10 times. Let me think that one through, but I've looked at that. It's not coming to me. The ball is sent in toward the box, and it'll be cleared out by the Moriah defense. And Ryan knocks it off. It goes off of Ryan. And a couple more substitutions, 20 and 23. Courtney Waldron, number 3, coming in, as well as Kirsten Petro for the Vikings. And the throw-in will be on by number 13, Mayumi Wagstaff Blaze, taking the throw-in for the Moriah Vikings. And the ball sent back into Chazy territory. And it is Ryan. He gets it up over to Kempany, over to Shawnee Trombley. Trombley goes center field trying to find Victoria Reynolds. Good play by the Moriah player, number 7, Tizar. But it's kicked back toward the Moriah net. The Eagles giving chase along with Lapierre and Reynolds. But it's Shawnee Trombley comes up, pushes it up over to Kempany and back over to Madeline Gay. Madeline Gay looking to get by 2 players. It's sent up. And it's a loose ball right now, controlled by the Vikings. Pushed too far, controlled by Kempany. Kempany pushing it up, and Reynolds too far. And it's sent toward midfield. Ryan trying to play defense, heads it up. Number 5 for the Vikings sends it up, but it is Bridget Dahl. She puts it up to somebody, and it is going to be, it looks like Jessica Garrett is in the game, and she just takes a shot off the face. And that's got to hurt. And it's Kempany with the ball. She lets a shot go. It goes off the defense, and it is controlled by Lapierre. She sends it back over to Kempany, and she chips it up and over the side of the net. And Garrett still grabbing her face, and that was a shot. And that's got to sting on a night like tonight.
It's going to sting no matter what the temperature is, but the ball comes that hard, that close to you, it's got to hurt.
It makes your eyes water, that's for sure.
Now, what did you say number 13's name was there?
13 for who? Moriah?
Moriah, yeah.
It was Mayumi Wagstaff Blaze.
This is my 25th year, and every year I learn new names. I don't know where people come up with them, but they keep coming up with new names.
Well, right now it is Chazy with Madeline Gay looking like the shot rip, and she does. Oh, nice play, and there should be another follow-up.
Great shot.
They say goal kick. And another hard shot, another great save by the goalie, Elizabeth Wallace. And she saves another goal here. But so far in the first half, Chazy already has 16 shots on net compared to 4 for the Vikings. We're at 12 minutes and 15 seconds, and Chazy's leading 4-0 here in the first half. Number 24, Chelsea McKernan checking out for the Vikings. And the ball's back into play. Short kick picked up by Reynolds. This could be dangerous for the Vikings, having Reynolds with the ball. Sends it into Lapierre. Lapierre gets by 1 player. And Lapierre, what a nice play by the 8th grader.
What a move.
Calvin, you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't, and she's got it.
Well, she's got the speed, but you also got to be smart enough to be able to run a play like that. And there might be a coach somewhere who will take credit for teaching her that, but that was outstanding.
Just a wonderful, wonderful play by number 24, Caitlin Lapierre. And another goal to her resume on her short varsity career here. Matter of fact, she scored every game she's been in.
I jokingly said when Victoria Reynolds scored a bunch of goals early in the season that she had me saying Helen who. Well, Lapierre's going to have me saying Victoria who pretty soon.
Well, but think about that offensive firepower up front. You got Reynolds, you got Lapierre who comes off the bench, Kempany. You have Madeline Gay at the halfback position, as well as Shawnee Trombley. Then you bring up Bridget Dahl, who's playing stopper, who's got a wicked foot, who's an offensive threat. I mean, there's just so many. Morgan Rusi, they just have so many weapons out there.
Yes, we saw, I think, Kempinen do something tonight, and Latchmore get an assist. It's just, nobody you can sit back and not pay attention to.
No, you can't say, okay, we're going to key on this one person, because you just can't do it.
No, sometimes you like to be able to do that. We'll leave that person alone, and we'll double team this other one here, and But if you do that, you're going to get burnt.
Exactly. Well, here, nice play by the Vikings. It's pushed out to the wing, but there's misses consistency. Misses consistency. Miss consistency. And the ball's headed out by Kempinen. And that will be a goal kick for the Eagles. And it is wholesale changes here for the Eagles. And we got a bunch of people here. It looks like Liz Favreau, Devin Latchmore, Allie Mitchell. Madeline Gay's back in, as well as Morgan Rusi. Off comes Reynolds, Lapierre, Levine, Dahl, and Ryan, as they all come off, and the ball's cleared out and almost gets to Heather Gay, and it will be a throw-in for the Eagles deep into Eagle territory. And here comes a throw-in. It goes up to number 20. It looks like Ollie Mitchell. Ball goes off of the Moriah Viking player. And it is. Ball goes. That hit Rusi hard.
Yeah.
And
where she wanted the ball to hit.
No, I don't think so. Rusi with the ball. She's taken down, no whistle. And she was taken down by Wagstaff Blaze. Just wanted to say that name. And the throw-in comes in to Mitchell. Mitchell keeps it in.
That's because you can't say her first name.
Well, Mayumi. That's what it looks like. And there's a ball sent up to number 12, Rusi. Rusi looking to get on the scoreboard here. But good hustle by the defensive player by the Vikings. And that looked like number 16, O'Connor, Ashley O'Connor. Good defensive play by the Moriah Viking defense, O'Connor. Corner kick for the Eagles. It will be Madeline Gay taking the kick for the Lady Eagles here in the first half. Chazy with a 5-0 lead. Again, I'm Joey Trombley along with Calvin Castine on the camera on this 25th of October in beautiful downtown Chazy on the George Brendler field here. And the ball is sent into the box, looking to be cleared. It is. And it looks like Levine gets by Levine, and Moriah has an attack working here. A little too far. And Goodrow is taken down, no whistle. And she's going right through. Number 20 is Petro. And good hustle by Levine. She comes back to help out, and it is Madeline Gay sends it up to midfield, and it's Allie Mitchell with the ball trying to keep it in, and it's nice effort by number 12, Slattery, but knocked out. Heather Gay gets the throw in, and it's Mitchell with the ball. She's working her way down the line. Mitchell still working her way, and throw in for the Eagles, and it's Heather Gay with the throw in for the Lady Eagles here. Goes out to Kempinen. Kempinen with the ball, trying to find somebody, finds Madeline Gay. Gay will work her way back over to Kempinen. Kempinen working her way to the box, sends a nice hard shot in, a floater I should probably say. And the goalie, Elizabeth Wallace, comes up with it. And it's Madeline Gay trying to take the punt, controlled by the Vikings near midfield, but good hustle by Madeline Gay. And it's sent toward the center, out to the wing. And number 5 giving chase, it's Kayla Gagna. Nice play by Gagna, getting by Levine, and she pushes it out, and it's way up there on top of the net. Boy, I'll tell you, Calvin, they don't get many chances. They should take every shot they can in that 18 instead of trying to pass it too much.
Yeah, nothing to lose. Might as well shoot and hope it's misplayed, or hope they put it in to begin with, but hope it's misplayed and you get another shot.
Well, it's 18 shots to 4 here in the first half. We're approaching the 7-minute mark, and it's total domination by the Eagles. And quite frankly, when you saw the records and the goals for and goals against, you kind of figured it might be like this.
No, yeah, it's not surprising, although as we mentioned earlier, sometimes Moriah is a much better team Class D-wise than their record indicates, but this isn't one of those years.
No, and like you said earlier, maybe if they played a 4th or 5th seed, it might have made a difference. But Chazy is kind of in a class all their own in ladies soccer.
They have been since they defeated E-Town in their second meeting, but we'll see when we get to the finals.
Well, absolutely. But I think, you've done nice. Heather Gay, I had an opportunity. You've seen most of these games that the girls have played this year, and you got to admit, right now they're on a roll.
They are definitely peaking, and if they continue to peak, they should have a good chance at reaching that Final Four again.
I really do think that they got to get through E-Town to get to the regionals again, because E-Town has a very solid team.
Yes, and E-Town is going to learn a little bit with their losses against Chazy, and they'll learn something from the game last week. And Joe Dumoulin's task is to keep his girls up and not let them think that the game last week is going to have anything to do with the game they play next time.
Well, I think he does a good job of doing that. Right now we have Shawnee Trombley, Victoria Reynolds, and Megan Ryan getting ready to check in. And Levine will just push it up to Heather Gay, but it's controlled by the Vikings. And here comes the number 7 for the Tizar. Jen Tizar sends it off goes off Levine, and it should be a corner kick. And corner kick for the Vikings. 11 Fernandez checking in, as well as number 6 Wintle for the Vikings. And there's 5 players changing right now, and Chazy has Rusi coming off, as well as Heather Gay. And there should be one more coming off, and it looks like, Captain Sam Levine coming off for the Eagles here. We're at 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. Nice ball into the box. Good opportunity for the Vikings, but cleared out by the Chazy defense. A nice play by the defense, and this ball sent back toward the end line. Good hustle by Ryan. She shields it from going out, and it will be a goal kick for the Eagles. We're back. Whalen and Schofield checks into the game for the Vikings, and it looks like Jessica Garrett with the ball. She has it knocked away, but it's Latchmore. Latchmore will send it up over to Reynolds. Reynolds will control. She has Garrett to her right, and she goes to Garrett. And Garrett with the ball has it knocked away by number 27, Zielinski. And it's off the Chazy offensive player, and it will be a throw-in for the Vikings here on the far side. Throw-in for Zielinski. She goes down the line, and it is Gay. I'm not sure who's out there at number 4. It could be Liz Favreau. And there is Miss Goodrow, sends it back into Moriah territory, and it is Madeline Gay, who's now in Chazy territory, trying to work her way through midfield. Good triple team on Madeline Gay, and the ball is pushed up, and it is Goodrow there to send it back to midfield, and Madeline Gay giving chase. Gets by one player. Nice move by Madeline Gay, working her way down the line on the right side, trying to find Victoria Reynolds, and it's knocked away by the defense of Moriah. The ball is loose right now. Garrett giving chase, but controlled by the Vikings. The Vikings with the ball, and it's knocked away, and it's Shawnee Trombley will get it over to Jessica Garrett, over to number 14. Madeline Gay sends it up toward the wing. Devin Latchmore giving chase, trying to get it before it gets to the end line. And good play by Latchmore and good defensive play by the Vikings. Saves it from going out and hustles and gets it up to number 19, Slattery. Slattery has it knocked away, and it's controlled by the Eagles. And it goes in toward the box, and the goalie, Wallace, is there to come up with the ball, and she'll punt it toward midfield. Well short. Controlled by number 19. Looks like Bridget Dahl. Dahl's working her way to the box, and she has the ball. She's trying to kick it, and it was good hustle by the Moriah defense.
Yeah, they stepped up, and Chazy is still trying to make things happen, but you can tell from their play out there that they've got a lead, and they're just not playing quite as intense as they were before.
Well, not as intense, but they got a lot of the reserves in too, which is good too, because you got to get them into these games because you never know when they might be called upon.
That's right. A lot of injuries in soccer, a lot of things can happen, and you need those subs. And it's nice to give them some playing time too, because they're at all the practices.
Absolutely. But you know, it's nice when you see the reserves come in like this. They keep it on the ground. They look for the open person. And of course, they're the ones playing against the first team, so they know how to play that style.
That's right. They know how to play it, and they know how to defend against it, but they don't have to defend against it very often because the other teams don't play that way.
No, exactly. That would be true. Well, right now, Stan Riggs and Pete Jakes have had a pretty quiet game tonight to call.
Stan usually insists on getting a game that's going to be kind of quiet.
Well, he's definitely a senior official out there, I would think.
Yeah, he got some award and state award this year. There's some Hall of Fame type of thing there. He's recognized at the state level, and I'll have to ask him about that one of these times.
Did he do wrestling up in Peru?
He was a legend in the wrestling as a wrestling coach.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he, right? And I think that might be what it was about.
Could be.
We'll have to ask him at halftime. But we know our viewers want to know.
That's right.
Oh, my God. What a kick by Victoria Reynolds. Another goal. Just kind of nonchalantly put it in the underneath the crossbar.
And she had about 4 red shirts coming at her at the same time. She just kind of casually kicked it in.
A very skilled player, Victoria Reynolds, gives Chazy a 6-0 lead, and they have outshot the Vikings 21-4 here in the first half. And what is the strategy in the second half for the Eagles?
Well, the strategy is to give your reserves some playing time and don't let your key players get injured.
And we know the strategy for the Vikings, try to score, but Chazy, I mean, the game is, obviously definitely in hand. Chazy will move on, even though we got another half to go here. But I'll be like you, put a lot of the reserves in, and hopefully nobody gets hurt.
And if you're Moriah, you tell your kids go out there and play hard and have fun.
For the seniors, enjoy it because it's your final 40 minutes. Well, the first half has come to an end here at the George Brenler Field. It's the first round of the playoffs for Class D girls soccer action here again at the George Brenler Field. Chazy playing the 8th seed. Number 1 seed is Chazy. 8th seed is the Moriah Vikings. And Chazy goes into the half with a 6-0 lead. And we're back to start the second half. The first half was all Chazy with a 6-0 lead, outshooting them 21-4. But the second half, strategy-wise, Calvin and I talked about this before the break. Chazy needs to come out and try to stay out of injuries. It looks pretty obvious they're going to move on to the next round. And I think probably in about the 10-minute mark or so, or 15 minutes, you'll see the reserves coming in for the Eagles.
I would think so. And, Moriah has not been playing physical or anything, but you don't have to have a team that's trying to hurt you in order for an injury to pop up.
No, and a compliment to the Vikings, the Lady Vikings. I was talking to one of the coaches for Chazy at the halftime, and he goes, they're just very respectful girls. He goes, whenever we give them a ball or whatever, they always say thank you, and that's nice to see. On a sporting event, that you can be respectful.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from the area that produced Tom Tyler.
Well, yes, and you are the big fan of Tom Tyler. You brought Tom Tyler back to life, actually. You show him on the Channel 24, and actually you did or at least you helped with Art DeMonico, is that it?
I enlisted Arto Monaco and
Arto Monaco, that's it.
And Sid Calci, and we put out Tom Tyler Tales #1, and after Arto died, we put out a second episode, and the Eagles have scored.
And what a shot. We've talked about Bridget Dahl. She was up there for the corner kick, and she just turned around. And in fairness to the goalie, Elizabeth Wallace, she had no chance on that. She was screened on it.
Yeah, she was completely blocked, and Dahl just found a spot where that was wide enough for the ball to go through and put it in.
And Austri Kempinen again figures into the goal scoring, Calvin. She's either scoring or she's getting assist out there.
Yep. I think Chazy in the top 10 had 4 of the top scorers in the girls' soccer in the region.
They did, and just going back to the MVAC game on Friday with the Lady Eagles in Bolton, Austri Kempinen accounted for 4 assists and a goal in that game of the 7 goals, so she factored in 5 of them.
It's a busy night.
a good workman-like effort. And there you see her working right now. She doesn't give up. And the ball pushes out over to Bridget Dahl. She tries to go to the right side over to Latchimore. Latchimore giving chase, and she's working her way down the line. It's Latchimore being challenged by number 27, Zielinski. And Zielinski knocks it out of bounds. And throw in for Latchimore. She goes into Kempinen. Pushes it back to Latchimore. Latchimore works her way to the line. And she goes to send it on a cross, and it's deflected. And Victoria Reynolds with the ball pushes it out, and it's Kempinen giving chase, but controlled by the Vikings. The Vikings with the ball being challenged by Kempinen, and number 22, I was waiting for that number. She's done a nice job out there. Her name is China Allen. And but the ball comes out to, this could be dangerous, and knocked away by Madeline Gay, but it goes right to the leg of Victoria Reynolds, and Reynolds just nonchalantly knocks that one in.
It took her about 15 seconds before she even smiled. I think she felt guilty.
Well, you know, I at 8-0 here at 37 minutes 13 seconds. You know, it's a tough situation. You know, what do? Do you pull the starters out and they don't play at least half the game? You're in playoffs now. You know, I mean, the game's in hand, but do you work on their win, or do you just say we pull everybody out?
Yeah, I think what you do is you may put them in different positions. Let some of the defensive players play in the front line, and let some of your offensive players play in the back line. Just keep them out there a little bit, but let somebody else score.
Yeah, I mean, they've scored quick here in the first half. 2 minutes and 48 seconds, they score 2 goals. And, you know, they build on that 6-0 lead to 8-0. And, you know, Moriah's come a long way, and you hate to rub it in like that.
Yeah, they come a long way. You know, it's very easy for a team with just one win to say, hey, we don't even want to play. And Chazy would have a bye tonight. And, you know, it's always better to get out there and have something to do, to have a game to play. So thank them by not beating them 15-0.
Well, you don't want to be stagnant like the Rockies were. I mean, look what happened to them.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to the Red Sox. But getting back to the Red Sox here, you know, as a Yankee fan, I am rooting for the Red Sox. I'm an American League fan. And unlike Red Sox fans, most Yankee fans are not jealous of the Red Sox.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring this up, and this was yesterday, and in my drive time between appointments and stuff, listen to Charlie and Ernie in the morning on 6:20 a.m., and their whole hour was on they wanted to hear from the true Yankee fans. That was what they wanted to hear, saying, can you root for the Red Sox because of what Rudy Giuliani said, right? Uh-huh. I would say 90% of the fans that called Yankee fans did say, I'm rooting for the Red Sox because I'm an American League fan. Right. Now, Charlie's going, there's no way that you can be a diehard Yankee fan and like the Red sox. And I disagree with that. I like the Red Sox, but I don't dislike the Yankees. They're a great team, as well as the Red Sox are.
Well, it's like last year with Elizabethtown Lewis defeating Chazy boys and then going on to further competition. You know, they're representing your section. You want them to do well, I think. They're the team that beat you. You want the team that beat you to be the state champions, not to finish way down below and embarrass the division, the whole section.
Absolutely. I mean, as much as it hurt for the players and the fans of Chazy, I would say the majority of the fans wanted E-Town to do well. I mean, you want to keep the champion. I mean, think about the state champions in Section 7. New York State's a big state. And your state champions, you want your section to hang on to that championship.
Yeah, if you lose to somebody, you want to lose to the champions.
Right. And well, you know, and it's funny that you say that. Talking to some parents over at E-Town, they go their final game the last 3 years have been to the eventually state champions. Yeah. Twice to us, and then Colton Pierpont last year.
Yeah. So, that's nothing to sneeze at, is it?
No, not at all. And hey, after Chazy lost, I mean, you felt bad for the boys, but I was down in Potsdam when they played Colton Pierpont, and I thought E-Town actually outplayed them. And they were missing their big gun, Ben Scaglione, who got hurt the game before. And I really believe if Scaglione would have been in that game, E-Town would have gone further into they'd actually made the Final Four.
Yeah, well, we'll never know. Just like when Corey Lewis went down, instead of folding, Chazy went on to win that first title.
Which nobody expected them to do that year.
Right. So sometimes a key player going down can actually inspire everybody else to step up. And even though that person is critical to your team, you just you just have some kind of momentum that takes over at that point and just carries over to the entire squad.
Well, especially at the D level, I mean, you normally you got maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4 players that stick out, and then the rest are, I guess you want to say, mediocre players. They just aren't as skilled, and you lose somebody at the D level, and you really notice it.
Definitely.
And Latchmore giving chase here, and she's being challenged by number 12 for the Vikings, Slattery. Lattimore and Slattery fighting for the ball, won by Latchmore. Latchmore will cross it over, and just over the head of Morgan Rusi, but she hustles back to get the ball. Makes a step over, but she's being challenged. Good defensive play by the Moriah Viking, but the ball is sent out over to Madeline Gay, sent up the field, and Ryan will come up to the ball, and she pushes it back over to, I'm not sure who that was, but the ball is headed by Reynolds toward the net, and it's Reynolds with the ball. And she just pushes it over, and I don't think she has any desire to take any more shots. It looks like she pushed it back over to number 12, Rusi. And the ball is sent toward midfield, and it is Reynolds. Pushes it back, and the ball goes high from Gay, just over the net. And good ball movement by the Eagles.
Yep, they continue to move the ball well, and it looks like maybe Coach Dumoulin has told them to make sure you get X number of passes out there before you shoot.
Well, that would be good, because right now the Eagles have outshot the Vikings 26-5 up to this point. We are at the 32-minute, 21-second mark here in the second half. This game is definitely in Chazy's hands as they lead 8-0 at this point. And the Vikings are on the charge right now. Number 7, Tizar, sends it up to the left wing. And that's number 5 for the Vikings, Gagnon. Kayla Gagnon working her way down the wing. But the ball was knocked away by Levine. Levine playing some tough defense there for the Lady Eagles. And good hustle by Levine. Throw in for the Vikings. And it is number 27, Catherine Zielinski, taking the throw in for the Vikings. And she goes down the left line, and it's controlled by Kempinen. Kempinen has it knocked away, and now it goes over to Bridget Dahl. Dahl sends it toward midfield over to Victoria Reynolds. Reynolds has the ball, being challenged by Zielinski. She goes far right side over to Kempinen, but it's knocked away by number 12, Slattery. Ball pushed to midfield, controlled by the Vikings. And going down to the open field, and there is Brittany Goodrow. Wisely just sends it out, and it'll be a throw in deep for the Vikings in deep Chazy territory. But again, Brittany Goodrow just was there and knew what was happening and just pushed it out of the way.
Yep. She
No
knows,
panic.
Knows what to do with it.
Well, 5-year player, she's been down to the Final Four a couple times, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times. And, of course, last year she was in the final game. So she has a lot of experience back there for the Eagles.
Yeah, there's not too many things that can happen on the field that she hasn't seen already.
And the reality with this team, the core group of this team is back from last year's team that made it to the state championship game. And, yes, you don't replace a Helen Giroux, but they're just as dangerous this year offensively as they were last year.
I think so. They've got more balance, more guns out there, and it's nice to see the great job that Helen is doing at Plattsburgh State. She had a game with 4 goals in it, just doing outstanding.
And the 4 goals that she scored, nice save, nice shot by Kempinen, nice save by the goalie Wallace. What was nice about those 4 goals, that came against an Oneonta team that hadn't lost in the conference in 101 games.
Yeah, she's just just a freshman, so she's in all probability going to continue to get better, and doing great things, and it's nice to see.
Well, we've said that before, and we've had we're fortunate enough to be able to call this game and tape this game when they played St. Lawrence here at the George Brendler Field for the Cardinal Classic, and had it, like we said this when we telecast that game. What a rush it must have been for her to score a goal on this field as a collegiate player.
Definitely, to come home and score what turned out to be the winning goal, and do it here at your home field, surrounded by your father's cornfields. It just what
it doesn't get any better than that.
That's right.
I mean, how many players can say you scored in the field surrounded by your dad's corn?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't happen. She's probably the first one ever to do that.
If you looked in the record books, Calvin, I think you might be right.
Maybe somebody in Nebraska somewhere.
We're under the 29-minute mark now. We just went under the 29-minute mark. It's 27 shots to 5 in favor of Chazy. And another rip, and it goes over the net, and it'll be a goal kick for the Vikings.
And on the other side of the fence over there, Joey, there's another game going on.
Oh, all the little kids are over there, yeah. Well, they say in Chazy, and I've heard this from many people, when you're born with a soccer ball.
You know, I said this at George Brenler's retirement party so many years ago. I can't remember how long it's been. But if you look at George Brenler and you look at George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, and when he found out when he took George Bailey out of his hometown that all of a sudden life was different there. If you took George Brenler out of the town of Chazy, life would be far different here. This would not be the soccer dynasty that it is.
Oh, well, I remember back in the 70s playing, I remember we'd come down to Chazy, it was like, they played a game that, and I've said this before, George Brenler was before his time for soccer in the North Country.
What is important, though, is that he instilled that confidence and that desire to play soccer into the entire community. And it's showing in what's happening year after year at the boys and girls level.
Well, Victoria Reynolds just scores another. You wouldn't know it. She just stuck another one in there. Almost feels like, oh well. It's 9-0. It's with Chazy, and I would think approaching the 25-minute mark that we're going to see some wholesale changes here, I would think. And we're back off the Victoria Reynolds goal. I think that's 3 or 4 tonight. Definitely 3, maybe 4 for Reynolds tonight.
She's had a bunch of those games with 3 goals. She's had a whole... Her closet must be stuffed with hats, because she's had a bunch of hat tricks.
Yeah, and she's only a sophomore. But she looks like she's been out there. I mean, this is her 3rd year varsity. Yep. Another 5-year player in the making.
Yep. She's just... and you could tell 2 years ago what an outstanding player she was, because she did great. You wouldn't... Except she was... You could tell she was young, but because looking at her, but the way she played like an old player.
Yeah. And the assist goes to Austri Kempinen. She's got to have like 6 points tonight. And 9-0 here at the George Brenler Field on... You know, it is a beautiful night for a fall night. I mean, we got our gloves on tonight, but it's not a bad night to call a game.
The worst days are coming, Joe. That's the one thing I hate about soccer is when it gets to the best games, it's the worst weather.
Well, Reynolds making some nice moves. She pushes it back over to Latchmore. And it is Reynolds with the ball over to Kempinen. Kempinen sends it in. She's still hustling pretty hard. Kempinen pushes it back over to Victoria Reynolds. Reynolds with the ball. Pushes it back over to Madeline Gay, who bends the shot toward the net. And it will go out of bounds, a goal kick. But going back to George Brenler in the 70s, I remember Rick Frisbee, the coach of Northeastern at that time, would call us in before the games get into Chazy and just go over what to expect and how they... I mean, it was just, they keep that ball 6-7 passes back then. And, you know, we were more of... trying to pass, but it was more send the ball up. It was almost like I call it like dumping the puck in the zone and just going, or in the offensive end and just go after it. Yep. That's kind of what we played.
Just kick it ahead and hope for the best, huh?
Well, I mean, you've been doing these games a long time, and not just for Chazy. I'm talking Northeastern. I'm talking PHS. The skill level has just improved so much through the years.
Well, the youth sports have just gotten so big. You know, it's across the country, soccer has become such a big youth sport that you know, the skill levels have to improve.
And what's amazing is the interest at the town level and across the country, the youth level, as you said, but yet in the major league level, it just hasn't really kicked in yet. Oh my God, who took that shot? Was that Kempinen?
Yeah. No more assists for her.
But that was just an unheard of shot. I mean, that thing just picked the bottom of the crossbar. And we're back under 25 minutes here. Chazy with a 10-0 lead. And Marie Tremblay getting ready to check in. And, Calvin, it's playoff soccer, and I guess you might want to keep the players out there because you work their wind up, because there's going to be tougher games down the road where they got to be able to play for 80 minutes.
Well, I'm a firm believer that your starters don't learn much in a game like this. That they're not really learning anything that's going to help them next time. And, it might do is, could give some kid too much confidence.
Well, I don't know if you're working on the win factor or whatever you're working on, but this game is definitely in hand.
They can run tomorrow and the day after.
Marie Tremblay is into the game for the Lady Eagles. And coming off is Megan Ryan. .23:37 to go here in the second half. Game completely dominated by the Eagles. You were wondering before the game with the 1-11 record if it would have been a tougher game because the Vikings play in the CVAC, playing a lot of tough teams. If this is happening here, boy, it must have happened a lot in the CVAC to them.
Yeah, very few CVAC teams beat them by this much, though. They would find a way to keep it to 6 or 7 goals.
And the goal kick is by the Eagles, and it's head back or knocked back toward the Chazy end and cleared out by Bridget Dahl. It'll be a throw-in for the Vikings on the far side with 22 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the second half. Again, I'm Joey Tremblay along with Calvin Castine on this 25th of October at the George Brenler Field in Chazy, calling this playoff game between the number 8 seed Moriah Vikings and the number 1 seed Chazy Eagles, with the Eagles leading 10-0 here in this game. The game is in hand. Chazy will move on to the next round. But for you folks watching this game, I like to say this while we're on the camera. We need to support Hometown Cable. They've been around for over 20 years. We do take them for granted, I know, every night, or not every night, but when I do get a chance to watch TV, I do have the channel surfing working, and I always check channel 24 out to see what's on locally. And it's just really neat to see the locals from everything here with Gordy Little, with his show is
Our Little Corner.
Our Little Corner, and a lot of interesting stuff, kind of a takeoff from what's going on here with Bob Venn. Sporting events, you get to see your relatives play. Just some nice, as Calvin calls it, hometown memories. But these guys could not function. It takes money to do this. They got to pay rent to the cable station. He's got to upgrade his equipment, and they make a living off this, and it's done by the local viewers and local businesses. And if you're a business person, I'm a business person. I advertise on Hometown Cable. I have for years, always will. I support the local station. I support PBS. I support cable. And for you people that support PBS and you support cable, you should be supporting Hometown Cable, because they are local television, our people, our area, and they'll take any kind of donation. I'll see the scroll come down, and you have people who religiously give every single month. Sometimes people make a one-time donation once a year. That's good too. But if you're watching this and you have not donated to Hometown Cable, please do. We're lucky to have them. I know I keep repeating myself on that, but I feel very strongly about that. And I just think it's neat that Calvin gives me the opportunity to come up here and call these games and bring these games to the fans of the North Country. So support Hometown Cable if you can. And right now it's Chazy with a corner kick, and it's Madeline Gay taking the kick for the Lady Eagles. And actually, it's Bridget Dahl taking the kick. Madeline Gay's just below me getting ready to check in. And the ball was short, and it's cleared off to the right side, and it'll be a throw-in for the Eagles.
It has never ceased to amaze me that people will watch their kids out there and then not dawn on them that they should be supporting this. Because I know if somebody was out there taping my kids on a regular basis, I'd sure feel grateful and want to see that their efforts can continue, but it's just oblivious. And people tell us how much they enjoy. Gordy gets a little money for our little corner, but the big thing he gets is the people who are constantly stopping him and telling him how much they enjoy the programs. But those same people don't don't realize they need to support it financially. Not the compliments are nice, but last time I took those compliments to the price chopper, Jim Black said, "No, can't cash those here."
Well, you're right. You know, I just if you see this and you aren't supporting it, you got to be asking yourself why. I mean, and you know, I know you put out there, you know, if you can give $12. Anything that you'd be gracious for, and
I've never sent any money back, Joe.
Well, you know, Calvin, and I will say this: I've noticed like a lot of teams, a lot of organizations will make donations to Hometown Cable.
That happens, and what scares me sometimes is an organization will make a nice, $100 contribution, but then the members figure we've done it, so they don't give as individuals.
Right.
It's one thing if your group gives $100, but then if 10 people that don't give as individuals, well, it's costing me money instead of making money.
Right.
So just because your organization gives doesn't mean that you can't do it as an individual also.
Exactly, and I do go back to. There's a lot of people in the North Country who support PBS, and you should. It is quality programming, but so isn't Hometown Cable. It's quality programming, and if we'll pay for cable for other alternatives before the top 4 stations or 3 stations, ABC, CBS, and NBC, then let's do it for the cable station, Hometown Cable, and I guess you can call that. This is our pledge night tonight as we're talking about it, but we should talk about it, and like I say, we take this for granted. We think these games are going to be on, and I mean I think it's kind of cool that I can get a tape of the games this year with Galen his being his senior year, that we can keep these as a memento for him for as he gets older, to have more meaning to him. And that's the other thing, Calvin, as we get older and as the years go by, it's these programs that have more meaning.
Definitely, when you pull out something that happened 20 years ago or more, and you realize how much time has gone. And this summer with the Bob Ben programs, most of the ones I ran during the summer were people who just recently died, and those people are gone, but what they had to say is still there and is going to live on, and we're going to be showing those to people years and years to come.
Well, it's when you put on when the guys did the bootlegging days over at the KSC. Of course, my dad was one of those. I mean, that's just cool. I look at that and go, oh God. And I remember you hear the stories over and over again as a kid from your parents, and I was like, man, that's really cool. And you have that, and I actually have that tape, and it's nice to play it back and go down memory lane.
And it's something that you can show to your kids, and they can show to their kids someday.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Well, right now, if you're wondering why Calvin and I are spending a lot of time talking about this, because quite frankly, this game is pretty much in hand for the Eagles as they're ahead 10-0 here late in the second half. There's 16 minutes and 23 seconds left. The game is being totally dominated by the Eagles. They have now outshot the Vikings 32-6 here in the game. They've corner kicks are 9-1 favoring Chazy, and of course, more importantly, it's the scoreboard 10-0. So and this is the first time that Chazy has played Moriah.
Yeah, they wouldn't normally meet during the regular season, and there's no reason why Chazy would schedule a game against Moriah. The games they schedule are games that are against tough teams that they want to improve on, and wouldn't be much reason to schedule one against the Vikings.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of the coaches at halftime. They said they've never played him at any level. They've never played him. So not just this year, but they've never played Moriah before in soccer.
Oh, really? Wow.
And Marie Tremblay sends it up over to...
This is history, Joe. This is history.
Oh, this right here. You're seeing it right here. Well, there's no doubt. And the ball comes flying up. And... it will be a throw-in for the Vikings. Zielinski with the throw-in. And the ball goes into number 13. And number 13 stays with the ball, and that is Mayumi Wagstaff Blaze with the ball for the Vikings. And Allie Mitchell makes a nice move to get by one player, and she sends it up to the open field, and it's Caitlin Lapierre sending it out now to Rusey, and Rusey is offsides. And Stan Riggs says, not on my shift. You're offsides, kid. Back on the other side.
That's the easy call. He doesn't have to chase that ball down there. Doesn't have to chase them. Sure, I'd be blowing offsides all the time. If you're past me, you're offside.
Well, they got to enjoy an easy game like this every now and then.
Yeah, I think so, and on a pleasant night, because there's some nights out there that they're just plain miserable, and they got to go out there in their shorts and run around. They usually were, or at least sometimes in a booth, or at least trying to get some kind of shelter. They can't have any shelter out there.
Well, I was looking at the playoffs in the paper, and if Chazy, boys or girls, make it to the finals, it will be at Plattsburgh High School, so you know you have a nice warm booth to tape the game there.
That's right. That's right. I am much happier with a PHS than I ever was at Cernak. Cernak is a terrible place for soccer games, and I don't know why they went there so often. It's just a miserable, terrible place. I checked the thermometer in my car when I left, and it'd be 12 degrees colder, and it's cold, damp air.
It was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was. Yeah, it would be literally that much colder there. But this year, Calvin, as last year, I won't be in town for that championship game, so hopefully the boys can get by this year. But I will be back for the regional play.
Well, last year you left it to Staub, and he just
he blew it.
He just Staub was calling the game, and they lost. So I don't know. Maybe Joe Poisson can come up here and save the day for you.
Well, I don't know where Joe. I was expecting Joe tonight. I talked to him actually yesterday, and I thought he would be here for the game, but maybe
he'll probably be here tomorrow night, because I was just talking to his mother Jean. She said she's making cookies tomorrow.
Oh well, then you know Joe's going to be here. The drawing card for the Poisson family is Jean and her famous chocolate chip cookies, which she treats hometown cable with, and sometimes we sneak a couple in ourselves.
Yeah, well, Sam will probably be here tomorrow night, so you might get your fingers slapped if you try to take too many cookies.
Sam does love those cookies. But I don't know too many people that don't.
Oh.
I know the players do.
They sure do. And so does Joe, or she calls him, Mrs. Poisson calls him Mike for some reason.
Yeah, it's, I think his middle name's Mike, yeah. But yeah, they do call him Mike. I've never called him Mike, I always call him Joe, but... And we got the Mickey Fries haze working its way over the field right now, as you can see it on the camera. And that is not the smoke from the West Coast. This is Mickey Fries smoke coming here. And if you've never been to a soccer game in Chazy and gotten a order of Mickey Fries, those are almost as popular as Mrs. Poisson's cookies.
Yeah, but these here are contributing to global warming. I mean, that cannot be good for the atmosphere to have that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot more acid rain falling in the Green Mountains, I think, because of those fries.
Well, we're definitely seeing the haze work its way across the field. You can see it right here on the camera. And that's not fog, that's Mickey Fries haze.
Not to be confused with Woody Hayes.
No, not to be confused with Woody Hayes. Ohio State?
Yeah. He's the guy who ended up punching one of his players and then ruining his great career.
It almost reminds me of Bobby Knight in Indiana.
No, Bobby Knight was a career of doing that, but Woody Hayes just had one momentary lapse there, and it just blemished his record that he'd built up over those years.
Well, we're now approaching the 10-minute mark here left into the game. And it is Chazy with a 10-0 lead. They've now outshot the Vikings 33-6. Again, I'm Joey Trombley along with Calvin Castine on camera at the George Brendler Field here. Just a beautiful night for a soccer game here in late fall. Like I said, 25th. And boy, there was a collision. And it will go in favor of Chazy. And I'm trying to think for Chazy who took that beating. It was Victoria Reynolds, it looks like. Oh, Bridget Dahl. Oh, it was. Bridget Dahl took a beating on that one. And actually it went against the Eagles. And there's a tough shot. And that goes off of, it skipped off the legs of Casey Olds. And boy, it's tough to crack that defense of Chazy.
Yeah, they're back there, and that's why they have so few goals scored against them. It's they're just tough on defense, and a good defense makes you that much tougher on offense.
Absolutely, and then if you get by that defense, then you have Casey Oles, and she's like I said before, probably one of the best goalies come out of Chazy in a long time.
She's a ball of energy, and I couldn't believe it when she started playing goalie, because she is always on the move, always jumping around, and I couldn't imagine her wanting to stand still like you have to do in goal.
Well, she does have the mindset of a goalie, though.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to go after it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're putting it very nicely, mindset, because I just wonder sometimes what those goalies are thinking when they dive for those balls.
Well, but she does take karate, so she's very limber. She's just very good between those pipes. And it looks like Chazy's kind of throttled back a little bit. As I say this, Rusi's making a move, but it looks like they're just kind of working on their passing game right now.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. I mean, 10-0 is there's no joy in that for either side, I think.
No, for either team. And it is Liz Favreau over to Madeline Gay. Gay sends it up to Jessica Garrett, just past her, and it's cleared out, and it's Moriah with the ball, working their way to midfield into Chazy territory. And number 5, Gagnon with the ball, trying to go work the right side, and it gets by Gagnon, picked up by Garrett. Garrett working her way, pushes it up over to the left side, over to Levine, and Levine sends it back over to Shawnee Trombley. And Trombley will pick the ball up for the Eagles. She works her way toward the 18 on the left side, pushes it down to over to, looks like Levine. The ball's chipped up, and Latchmore tries to get a shot off, and Moriah is just trying to clear the ball out here. I almost said it again. I got half of it in, and Heather Gay giving chase, controlled by the Vikings. And it goes off of Liz Favreau, and it is Heather Gay, or Bridget Dahl. Nice play by Dahl. Sends it to the open space over to Trombley. Trombley sends it to the right side over to Latchmore. Nice ball movement by the Eagles. And the ball goes off the Viking player. It's still staying in. The ball is not going to go out. And it is Moriah trying to get by the Latchmore. She does. Sends it up, and it is Liz Favreau with the ball. And she takes it off the leg of the Moriah defender, or striker. And the ball goes out. Madeline Gay was there, though, but it went out of bounds. And some more substitution for the Lady Eagles. We're back, and we're at 6 minutes here left in the game. Chazy with a 10-0 lead. I mean, obviously, Chazy will win this game. I guess what they're playing for is the shutout right now.
That's about all they can play for right now, is to pick up another shutout. There's nothing much else to play for.
And it will be a throw-in for the Vikings. And it gets by Marie Trombley. And Madeline Gay just sends that ball high and out wide. Throw-in for the Vikings. Throw-in, and Marie Trombley will send it out. Another throw-in for the Vikings. Number 12. Samantha Slattery with the throw-in for the Vikings. And Bridget Dahl sends it up high, and it was a header try, at least an attempt header by number 16 O'Connor. And the ball will go into Olds, and offsides on the Vikings, and it will be a kick for the Eagles, and it will be Madeline Gay taking the kick for the Eagles. And the ball goes off the defensive player, and it is in Moriah territory. Garrett giving chase. And it looks like it goes off Garrett. And it does. Moriah throwing. We are now 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this game. And Chazy looking to substitute 4 players in. And here they come. And we're back to the action here. 4 minutes left in this game. It's the 25th of October, 2007 at the George Brendler Field. Playoff game, opening night playoffs for the Eagles and the Vikings. Chazy with a very commanding 10-0 lead, have outshot the Vikings 33-7. I'm Joey Trombley along with Calvin Castine on the camera for Hometown Cable. We are now approaching under 4 minutes here into this game, and the Eagles of Chazy will move on to the next round of the playoffs. Right now they're just playing for a shutout, and Moriah is trying to play for a goal, and offsides called against the Vikings. So Chazy is about 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from registering the shutout here in the first round of the playoffs in MVAC action. And at this point, Calvin, if you win, you move on. If you lose, you go home.
And if you win, Chazy might stay home. They might have the next game here. I'm not sure what.
I would think so, yeah.
Not sure what the situation is. I would think it might be here, but it could be on a neutral field because this is, what, a quarterfinal?
This is quarterfinal. Usually the finals are on neutral fields, but I do know that there are.
I know the finals are, yeah.
But even in the CVAC action, I know some semifinal games are here in Chazy, and then the finals are here, so they could be neutral field.
Yeah, could be, but Class D kind of goes by beats their own drum. They don't do what C and B do.
Yeah, well, it's a different division too. I mean, you're talking different league, MVAC versus CVAC. And there's the shot toward the net, and it is the goalie Wallace coming up with the save. And 2 minutes, approaching the 2 minute mark here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds roughly left into the game. Chazy controlling the ball. Dahl sends it up through, and it is Wallace giving chase. There goes Reynolds. And Reynolds has the ball. Sends it back to Kempinen. And wow, that was like a pinball machine out there. That ball was ricocheting all over the place. And Chazy just missed scoring on that one. And the ball goes up to Bridget Dahl, sends it up, and it looks like Lapierre is trying to slide to knock the ball. Substitution coming in here for the Vikings. Number 22, China Allen coming in. We're about minute 30 left in the game. And minute 30 from Chazy moving on to the next round of the playoffs. And it's Reynolds pushing it back over to Dahl. Dahl lets a bullet go, and it goes wide of the net. And a goal kick for the Vikings. And the Vikings have a minute and 10 seconds left to try to get a goal in this game.
I'm predicting that this might be a shutout.
Calvin, you should go to Vegas. I think you could win on that one.
That it might be a shutout? Yeah, I'm not even predicting that it is going to be one. I'm just predicting that it might be.
Well, I'd put my money on that one.
And you're going to get home in time to watch your Red Sox play, Joey.
Well, I got to do that after Survivor. We like to watch Survivor, and then after that I'll put the Red Sox on. It'll only be like half the first inning.
I've never met anybody who watched Survivor. You're one of those people?
Yeah, hey, but you know what? But the point I'm trying to make here
I watch
is
Bill O'Reilly and try to learn something. What?
I listen to him, but I listen on the radio.
Oh, okay.
The baseball. That's another subject. Why are they starting these games so late? They're losing a generation of players or fans.
They've already lost that generation.
Well, it's the next generation after that.
But we say that, we keep saying that, but attendance was at an all-time high this year, at all-time high prices.
So they must know something we don't.
Obviously, I think that they're losing the viewers when it comes to the World Series. I'm sure, even though the Red Sox are in it, that viewership will be down.
I made it to 11:30 last night. The game wasn't. It was seventh inning. 11:30.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
Yeah, but it's only 8:30 out in the West Coast, so it's, and what I have been told is that what these networks care about is the 9 o'clock hour. If they can show that they had a lot of viewers at 9 o'clock, that's the important thing. So if they have 9 o'clock viewers on the East Coast and 9 o'clock viewers on the West Coast, it's the best of all worlds for them.
Right. Well, this game has come to the end. They're shaking hands here in Chazy. And another nice touch for in Chazy is the Chazy Orchard is always good about giving each team a bag of apples.
That's right.
Another good advertiser for Hometown Cable.
And And many times when a team, back in the old days, when a team would beat Chazy, they would receive some Drew's Poultry eggs on the side of the bus. Not from the folks at Drew's Poultry, though.
Well, folks, it is October 25th, 2007 here at the George Brendler Field in Chazy. Chazy moves on into playoff action, into the playoffs. They win 10-0 against the Vikings of Moriah. And as Calvin would say on the camera and Sam would say on the camera, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy.